Do you ever wonder how we let the smartest little kitchen tricks quietly disappear? Not the flashy stuff, not the fancy appliances or celebrity recipes, just the simple things. Quiet rituals passed from one pair of hands to the next. Tricks that made meals last longer, made do with less, and turned ordinary food into something you remembered. So today, let's go back. Back to cast iron skillets, ticking wall clocks, and soup that started with scraps. Back to the warm wisdom of the kitchens we grew up in. Before we had canola or nonstick sprays, we had bacon grease. It lived in an old coffee can by the stove. You saved it from breakfast and used it for everything. Green beans, eggs, cornbread, gravy. That little jar stretched flavor across the week. It turned even plain cabbage into comfort food. Some people strained it, some didn't. Either way, it gave every dish a smoky depth that no store-bought bottle could match. It wasn't taught. You just saw your mother do it. Then one day, you did it too. Remember mock apple pie? Made with Ritz crackers instead of apples? Sounds crazy, but once baked in cinnamon and lemon, it tasted just like the real thing. Folks made it during the Depression when apples were scarce, and again in the 70s just for fun. It was kitchen theater. Trickery with a flaky crust. You sliced it, served it, and watched your guests try to guess the filling. Most never knew. In many homes, a single pound of ground beef had to feed a family of 5. So we stretched it with oats, breadcrumbs, onions, even leftover rice. Season it right, shape it into a loaf or patty, and nobody asked questions. These weren't just meatballs. They were thrift, skill, and survival rolled into one. You didn't brag about it. You just made it work. Leftover mashed potatoes didn't go in the trash. They became golden, crispy pancakes. A little flour, maybe an egg, maybe cheese or onion. Pan fried until brown on both sides. They showed up at breakfast, lunch, dinner, whenever something quick and filling was needed. A cross between hash browns and a warm memory. There was something indulgent about pouring hot coffee over day-old cake. Pound cake, cornbread, a slice of chocolate sheet cake. You placed it in a bowl and let the coffee soak in. It wasn't just about softening it. It was about turning a leftover into a little moment of luxury. Sweet, bitter, warm, eaten in silence, maybe before the house woke up. Brown sugar turns to a brick if you let it sit too long. But we knew what to do. Drop in a slice of bread. By the next day, the sugar was soft again. No microwaves, no chiseling, just the quiet genius of moisture transfer. Every freezer had one. The soup bag, peels, stems, bones, bits and ends. You threw them into a bag, and when it was full, you made stock. Chicken noodle, barley, vegetable, whatever was in the pantry, whatever the freezer gave. The broth was never the same twice, but it always tasted like home. Canned tomato sauce had a bite, a little too sharp. So we dropped in a sugar cube, just one. It didn't make it sweet, it made it smooth, balanced, rich, just enough to turn spaghetti night into something that tasted like it simmered all day. Summer herbs came fast and furious, too many to use before they wilted. So we chopped them, mixed with a little water or oil, and froze them in ice cube trays. Come winter, 1 cube into soup or stew brought back July in a single breath of steam. Didn't have buttermilk? You didn't run to the store. You added a spoonful of vinegar to milk and waited 5 minutes. It curdled, it soured, it made your pancakes rise. It was kitchen chemistry, and it worked. Raw onions could overpower a dish. So we soaked them in salted water just 15 minutes. Still crunchy, still sharp, just more polite, especially in potato salad. Wilted lettuce wasn't a tragedy. Just soak it in ice water with a splash of lemon juice. 10 minutes later, crisp again. Salad was saved, groceries were respected. Before air poppers and microwave bags, we had lunch sacks. Add kernels, a little oil, fold it up and pop it in the oven. The bag puffed. The smell filled the kitchen, salt, maybe butter, and a bowl that never stayed full for long. The bottom of the cereal box wasn't trash. It was dinner. Crushed cornflakes became coating for chicken or chops. Crispy, golden baked, not fried. It looked humble, but tasted like something worth remembering. None of these tricks were flashy. Most weren't even spoken aloud. You learned by watching, remembered by doing, and kept them alive not through recipes, but through habit. They saved meals, saved money, saved pride. And maybe it's time we bring them back. Not out of nostalgia, but because they worked, and they still do. Because sometimes the old ways are still the best ways. If this brought back memories, share it with someone who cooked like this. And don't forget to subscribe for more.